Okay, we're here for the September 25th meeting of the Estacada Parks and Rec Commission. Can I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Jackson. Is absent. Commissioner Lanchitsky.
Present.
Commissioner Teistel. Is absent. Commissioner Shebrel.
Present.
Commissioner Huff.
Present.
And Commissioner Brandt is absent.
And I'm here, but it's okay.
Chair Baloney.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda from the last meeting?
I move to approve.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Perfect. All right. Citizen concern comments? All good? No one's online? Perfect. Okay. So first matter is the Founders Day event. So we ended up going to the Philip Foster Farm for their apple cider event. I did talk to her and she is very much willing to let us host the event there and like to do like
Nice.
all the old timely things. So we have that as an option. I went to city council and I talked to Jerry because Jerry was the one who initially told us like about doing this.
Mhm.
And he really wants to do a portion of it here, or at least for the person who brought it up from the Arts Commission really wanted to do a portion of it here. So I don't know, because I was like, in my opinion, it would be tough to do like a full blown like event here unless it was like, unless we did something along the lines of, because he was saying there's a lot of stuff like in the storage unit that had like old historical things like about the city. He said it may be there. And like if we could like pull that stuff out and like maybe display it for the day and like let people come through and walk through
Like a gallery walk.
like a gallery,
Or
something like that.
Like pop-up museum kind of.
Like we could do something like that if they truly do have stuff from like historical stuff. We would just have to confirm that it's actually there. And then they could do like, I don't know if they want to do like, because there's no direction at this point. Like,
There is a subcommittee being formed.
oh, okay.
So the original idea presenter in the Arts Commission is talking with
Bev, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's the Arts Commission gave her the kind of go ahead to be on that subcommittee, kind of
Sure.
with that, and she got in contact with I think it was the head of the Economic Commission.
Mhm.
She's gonna get in contact with there, start putting something together to be a subcommittee to kind of start doing this,
Okay.
doing some of the legwork on this. So that is moving forward there.
Okay. That's cool. Because at least
Yeah.
I want to get I emailed
Yeah.
everyone on the arts and I sent out emails like, hey, we're Jerry brought this up about doing this. He wants to get people involved. What do you guys actually want to do? What's like the actual plan? And then we can just help as needed. Or if like they want to take the lead on it or they want us to that's all, you know, whatever
Yeah,
people want to
they're
do.
not taking the lead on it.
They just have opinions about what they want. I mean, that's fine.
Well, Bev presented the idea and never got a whole lot of buy-in from the art
Mhm.
committee because of some of the stuff they already had planned.
Sure.
Their big poetry event and everything like that. So it really has just been this kind of mulling around till somebody can kind of take over and take charge of it. And I think that's what the subcommittee would be able to do, or at least more effectively.
Sure.
So as far as our role in it, it may end up being to support that or facilitate that. We'll have to see how the subcommittee develops, who's going to be on it and everything. So that's where I think we're kind of at there.
Got it.
The Philip Foster Farm is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Having some of it here makes sense just for visibility's sake and everything like that. But there is a subcommittee kind of
Sure. Okay.
starting to be formed.
Remind me of the date.
Sometime in May.
Okay.
May 2025. So like, I mean, there is time, but if they truly want to do like a big event, like an Oktoberfest sized event, they need to start doing it.
Yeah,
like,
May's gonna be here fast.
Right, right. I mean, like, I'm sure like whoever does Oktoberfest, like Connie and them, they spend a lot of time getting the vendors, getting this, all the staff, like the volunteers, the sponsors, all that stuff. So if do they have like I mean, I don't know. Do you have her contact?
Both my mother-in-law.
That's why I thought she
And
was.
so
Okay.
We live in the same house.
Perfect.
So
Do-
contact is easy.
do, just ask her like if she has like a plan to do a meeting about it. Like,
Yeah,
Hey,
she's still waiting to meet with, I don't remember what her name was. So once they meet, I think that they'll be able to start getting some balls rolling.
got it.
And if she gets the opportunity to just run with it, she can make things happen.
Sure.
So I'm not worried on that part. So I can kind of either be on that subcommittee or at least liaise with that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the communication level is pretty easy.
Yeah, like I said, you know,
So-
if you want to talk to her and just just email us like, hey, this is what they're thinking. This is like kind of their time frame. And then that
Yeah,
way
and she's heard most of that too.
okay.
So I told her she could even jump on tonight, but I don't think she will. But yeah, so she's heard the sometime in May.
Sure.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I know.
Perfect. Like I said, I mean, even if we, like I said, if we have stuff here that we could like bring out and let people look through and like kind of like you said, like pop-up museum, that would, even if we did like, that wouldn't take very long. That would maybe take like an hour. Like you could open City Hall from like 10 to like 11:30 noon.
Yeah.
And then after that, people could go to like the farm and hang out and do the rope making and like get food and get at vendors and that type of thing. If they want to do like a big event, but I just don't know. At this point, I'm not sure what size event they want to do or any of that type of thing.
Yeah.
Telling you, man, timber games, but period tools.
Timber games,
Yeah.
period tools,
Yeah.
So, like-
Super fun.
like all the timber sports stuff.
Yeah. So
That would be cool.
yeah. So it's like the, like the bucking, but you have to do it with like a 2-person saw. It's like on like a 32-inch trunk.
I'm sure we could find some people who would be like, we could get like the logs donated and stuff like that. We
Yeah.
could find people to sign up for that.
Yeah. It would take them a week to get through the whole event.
Even if they did like one or two like lumberjack events.
It would be kind of
That
cool
would
to,
be
to do
cool.
like a period tool lumberjack event, just like
Yeah.
one. Like that'd actually be pretty rad.
Do you know anybody with a steam engine?
They at the one concert they brought out that old not renovated
Restored.
the restored fire truck with it had the
Yeah.
the old bell and all that stuff. So they brought it out so the kids could climb on it and do all that stuff. But like I mean, because Jerry was saying like I guess like strawberries were a big industry
Mhm.
like back then in the city. So he was like that, like, you could incorporate something about that. You could incorporate, I was like, you could have like all the kids who dress up in the pioneer stuff for like the apple cider pressing. Like, they had the blacksmith doing the forging and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We could have like all those same like period people doing their things if they wanted to do the horse cart and do all that stuff. And then, yeah, you'd be like some old timber events or like any other stuff like that. That would be cool. I would like to see if they have like, if we could reach out to like any Native American organizations within Clackamas County, because there are a few tribes left, and if they wanted to come out and like put up tents and like share like information about the history of their tribes and stuff like that, that would be great too.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of stuff we can incorporate. I think it would be hard to do it here at City Hall, but if we had that big open space of the farm, we could invite tons of people and they could like do different things and do that type of thing. That would be cool, but.
Well, and then if there is any artwork or photographs or anything of within reason of that era, is then putting them on A-frames in the location where
Right.
they originally were.
Yeah.
Just as like a little history walk kind of thing that is passive but existing.
And even like if people who have had generational families within Estacada, I'm sure they have like
Pictures.
old pictures and that type of stuff. And you can get like that's a blown up and like put
Yeah.
on display and like they can, I checked out some people put some like, binders together at the library about like the history of Estacada. So I checked those out. So I have those on my desk that I've just been reading through, and it talks about like all the different families and all that stuff. So that, you know, like if we could get like those people involved and like, you know, that would be
Yeah.
pretty cool too. I think there's a wealth of resources.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to involve the community in
Yeah.
the, you
Mhm.
know.
The treasure hunt of information.
Right. And it's just like, yeah, as long as we get a direction of what they want to do, and then we can actually
Plan.
run with it and plan some stuff and do
Yeah.
that. So, okay.
It's hard when you have no direction.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what I asked Jerry. I was like, what do you guys like really want to do? And he was like, talk to Bev. And I was like, okay. I was like, I will send an email to everyone on arts.
Yeah.
And hopefully they come back with something on that. So, okay, well, good. Then, yeah, like I said, just reach out and we'll see what they say. Perfect. Sprint into spring.
So I have, I sent a GPX off to the certifier. He is sending me over an agreement. I should be receiving it soon, and then we'll get folks in touch about money stuff, but it should be, the certification should happen next month.
Great.
And then if I can borrow that pen as soon as you're done,
Yes.
because we need to get serious about medals, shirts, and bibs. And sponsors and all that.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I think there should be plenty of businesses that want to do sponsorships and that type of thing. So that would be cool.
Yeah, I think that basically by like the end of November, we want to have a registration ability done. And then
Like for participants to register.
yeah.
Okay.
And then with bibs, that usually comes with your timing system. But and that I can sort that out pretty quickly. Medals and shirts. I have a t-shirt design I actually already did before, that we can just use again and get more shirts printed. But medals we haven't done yet, so should get on those.
So medals, shirts, and sponsorships are our next thing that we need to do for the sprint to spring.
Yeah, and a registration.
For like getting it like advertised out or any like where are you putting the
So once it's certified,
Mhm.
I as far as like really pushing getting the word out, certification is going to help a lot because it's going to be listed, because then it gets listed as a USATF certified course.
And that's where like anybody can search it, right? Like
Yeah,
5K near Estacada or.
yeah, and so it'll show up in that directory, but it will also but then I can go, there's a bunch of places I can go to add it. Yeah, and then there are a bunch of sign up platforms already that exist, so you don't really have to like build a website, like maybe build an information. A lot of races, they have informational websites, and then they have a link to a sign up platform,
okay.
so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else for the sprint into spring?
No, that's it for now.
Perfect.
Then Trick or Trot.
Perfect. Yeah, okay, so next we have the trick or trot.
I never heard back. Did the flyer that I sent make it into the mailer?
Yes, those were submitted
right.
and mailed out today.
All right, I just realized that I never actually got a confirmation. I was like, oh.
I was out sick for a week, so I didn't get to it until this week.
Okay,
That's probably why.
gotcha. All right, thank you.
And you did say we have the medals and the stuff. Is it
It's all upstairs.
okay?
There's like a Parks and Rec section. So there's like a bunch of stuff up there.
Can we
found like
get
the
into that
medals.
tonight just to like inventory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
What time should we plan on being there to help set up and get things ready?
I usually show up at 1 to
Okay.
go to do course marking and stuff like that, and everyone else can show up at 2 to set up booths and stuff like that. So
Okay, so between 1 and 2. correct?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, the race is at at 3 and people kind of, I guess, yeah,
Because
maybe a
they
little
did say
before too.
Something about like show up at 2, race starts at 3.
Yeah, the flyer just says the race is at 3, but people
Okay.
do start showing up pretty early.
Okay,
It's
So-
like 1:30.
1:30, okay.
yeah, and then just so we have something set up.
And is it okay if I bring my daughter with me?
Of course.
Okay,
Is
so she's gonna participate, but,
it's not okay if you don't.
okay.
No, it's perfect. No, but for us, I mean, honestly, it's the last couple of years, we set up the booths, the little sign up sheets that we give to people, spread the candy out. Stephen marks the course. We just put up the archway for the people to, for the kids to run through.
Yep.
And then whatever time's left, we just draw with chalk on the,
Awesome.
in the parking lot. So
At
And
1:30.
then I have a little sound system I can bring out.
perfect. Yeah, that's right. So I was like, yeah, and then I was like, you got if your daughter has any friends, you want just to do a bunch of art for Halloween art,
Yeah,
like
I
while
mean,
we're setting
she's
up,
4,
perfect.
but-
We'll bring plenty of chalk. and everything
Yeah,
for 'em.
and that's, yeah, I put flags out to mark the course, like
Okay.
orange flags, and then sidewalk chalk just because it's, the whole thing's paved, so.
Awesome.
Perfect. Then so I have the candy, I have some like little trinkets, like little spider rings, and like, so my wife's been picking that stuff up. So she has some stuff for that, and then I'll pick up the canopy. So usually we only take like 2 canopies, set up 1 table,
Okay,
and then we're emailing the mobile library. So we're gonna see if they want to come and hang out. We'll probably have the ice cream guy there and see if he wants to hang out and have some ice cream.
I
and-
was looking back at the notes. It says, potentially having apple cider. Are we gonna do that, or?
Is that?
Because we talked about it I was just reading the notes over from last week, or last month.
Oh, that's right. You know, I know I'll put out we can put out the word to like whatever. Like I know the cheerleaders were there and like they were, they sold candy or like cotton candy at the,
Oh, okay.
like if any.
Oh, for like fundraising.
For fundraising, if there's any like school people that want to do like little fundraising, like selling cotton candy or something like that, we can try to reach out to them and see if they want to, if anyone has any stuff they want to do for like that type of thing. We can totally do that.
We have 2 of these.
I brought another one.
So pretty. Let's, with how close it is, let's make that like some concrete action items to.
Yeah, I mean, I'll email the bookmobile. I'll email what was the health people that always used to would come
Orchid.
on? Orchid.
Yeah.
I'll email them. Bookmobile. I'll send out all these emails today. Ice cream guy, I already have his contact. I will email him.
And then Chelsea said that she has a cotton candy machine.
If she has it and
if
if
she
she
wa-
wants to bring it, we have no problem with that.
Yeah, I mean,
You gonna run it?
that's the
Yeah.
it's like, will it keep up with like 100+ kids?
Yeah, that's a lot.
If they show up early, you know,
What's the size of the machine?
Yeah.
it might be a little sticky on their run. As long as it's not raining or anything like. We can't even check the weather that far out, but last year was fine. It only rained.
It's been fine every time.
It's been fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't jinx it. Gonna be a horrible year.
Are there any other vendors we want to? Is it worth having like Christy come out and do it?
no, but I think the timing, if she wants to, that'd be great, but I think the timing is not
Yeah, I mean,
beneficial for.
lunch and dinner is kind
Yeah,
of a weird
it's-
time.
yeah, and no one wants to eat a burger right before they
Sure.
run out. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the kids go for the, like I said, the ice cream guy like he should do all right, and then
Yeah.
they go for the candy and all that stuff that we bring out anyway. So
Yeah.
okay. Any other like organizations and stuff that you guys want? If you guys think of anything, just email them and ask them if they want to come out. Aside from, like I said, aside from the bookmobile and all those ones, if you guys want to email anyone else and see if they want to like just set up a little booth or anything like that, we have no problem with it. So
Okay.
if your kids in any like Girl Scouts or like any of that stuff, like
Not yet.
not
too
yet.
young.
Okay.
Soccer, but
Perfect. We'll send it. We'll send an email to everyone in in the group and just let them know like, hey, if you guys know of any, because I know like Christy, her kid's probably old enough to where like he's involved in school stuff.
Mhm.
So they
I think
maybe,
he plays sports too.
so maybe they
he
know
would
someone
want-
who
yeah.
would want to come out and do some fundraising or something like that.
And I can ask if CSAR, because we actually have like a pretty like just ready to go booth set up now
Mhm.
that and so and since it's kids, a lot of times like our K9 team likes
Yeah.
to come out and the kids just like absolutely love the dogs. So.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be great. And then we'll go look at the medals, and if we want new ones made or anything like that, we can just decide after and then.
Yeah, I think if we have at least like 150, we're probably.
Yeah, I don't know, they're always the same ones. I didn't know if you wanted to like switch it up and just put and make new ones this year.
Oh, yeah, let's see what we have. And because
Sure.
I know, I think we have like two or three different ones now, but they're very similar. So, yeah, it might be a good idea to run these down and then make a new one. So.
Sure.
How many
Or-
people have registered? I didn't check the list, but
I haven't.
when I
checked.
registered, it was just me and you.
Yeah, actually, I haven't looked yet
Okay.
either, but
Okay,
we
so I'll-
we've had a really good turnout every single time.
Good,
so
okay.
It's usually
so it's
like-
something people look forward to and
Yeah.
know about. I'm curious. I'm gonna look at the. But it hasn't been advertised anywhere yet, right?
It was
Well,
in the water bill.
It'll go, yeah, it's in the water bill. But those aren't out yet.
They should start going out
Okay.
soon, so
Yeah.
people might start getting them this week, but
Right.
definitely by next week, you should be seeing a lot more entries.
Yeah, the registrations blow up, when the water bill goes out.
Right. And then we'll post, we'll have them do the posts. If you want, we could like post it 2 weeks out and then like the meeting before. That way
Yeah.
you can get two different ones out there, just to remind people twice.
Just
Yeah,
committee members so far.
Okay. yeah, well, yeah, because I don't think anyone's, okay,
Yeah.
but maybe we could do a post, I guess nowish,
Yeah.
and then another one like a little more than 2 weeks out, and another one like a week out.
Sure. Just email Ally with the flyer and then, just
Okay.
yeah, perfect. And then the only thing I really had was, we're gonna paint the plywood so that they can do the pictures.
Oh, right, yeah.
Brianne, if she should pick it up from the house, the piece of plywood that she needs. If not, I'll for sure have one painted before that. So we'll totally have that. Then yeah, we'll once we see what we actually have upstairs, we can decide whether or not we want to like make a banner or something like that for it too.
We have banners,
Do we? Okay,
or I know we have a big like vinyl banner,
perfect. Then
yeah,
yeah,
we should, anyway, that's why I want to like to just run inventory on what we have.
perfect. Yeah, that'd be great. Anything else? Perfect. Okay, and then lastly, we have the movie event. If we're gonna do something in the winter
Mhm.
for the movie event. I can't remember what we talked about. Did you said you had a projector that we could potentially use for it if
Yeah, if we're doing it indoors in in that room,
In the community
Yeah,
room.
yeah,
we can do it.
it's like it's got a pretty ridiculous throw, so
Okay.
it's good.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
So do we want to set, we didn't settle on a date, did we?
No, it doesn't look like it. We talked about a couple dates, I feel like, but it's not in here.
I know we were saying earlier in December, just we don't want it to
Before the
get,
holidays.
yeah, we don't want to get too close to
Mhm.
the holidays when people are going to be traveling.
Yeah, before winter break, I think we talked about, right? Like
Yeah.
the first weekend of December.
Yeah, because if you're saying like winter break was
It's
super
late
late.
this year.
Yeah.
It like starts on the
I figured-
23rd.
I forget what the date was, but I know that I think my birthday was actually one of them.
Yeah, I think winter break starts
Yeah.
December 23rd this year.
Well,
Or
and Thanksgiving is really late too.
Yeah,
It's like the 28th.
28th, yeah.
Well, if you have a birthday or do you have a day, if you have to set up a projector, you got a day that works best for you.
Yeah, that's what it was. December 6th is my birthday, and it's the first Friday of December.
Yeah,
So movie and cake.
you got any plan for
Yeah.
that weekend? Yeah, how many candles would you put on it?
Would we do it on a weekday like a Friday or more like a Saturday?
I think we would do it on a Saturday or Sunday,
Saturday,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like even Friday nights, like after work is hard with kids and families somewhere in general. I think a weekend might be better. And not a Sunday evening because school the
Yeah.
next day.
Sure.
This
So definitely Saturday.
You think the 7th, 14th? What are we thinking?
It's your birthday weekend, so whenever.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I know.
We don't have to decide today on the day,
If we
but
did the 14th though, that would be still okay because they still have school the following week.
That would
Um,
probably be best.
the 14th.
Yeah.
If we were going to do it
Because
the
people
14th,
won't
probably
be
the best.
traveling necessarily at that point because there's still a week of school.
I only asked for one birthday present for my family every year, and that's to let me have an entire day just out running in the mountains. And so
In December,
yeah, well, I usually go out east where it's better weather, but I don't get home until very late, so.
Yeah, and sunset that day is 4:30, so we won't have any difficulty
Perfect.
Yeah,
with that, so.
started at 4 or something.
or,
Yeah, even. Yeah, like 4 or 5, or I don't know, whatever people, when people get off work, 5 or 6, you know,
Well,
if
it'd be
we,
the
Maybe 6
weekend.
o'clock.
oh, you're right, it is yeah, it's right.
Maybe
Most
6
people
o'clock,
won't be
but-
ready.
Yeah, like, you know, if it was like, what, an hour and a half movie,
Mhm.
and, you
Yeah.
know, because what are we thinking, are we thinking like the Christmas Story, or what were we thinking?
And are we doing it at like dinner time with food? Because like if we did a 5 o'clock, people are gonna more likely eat, you know, or
Yeah.
5 or 6, or if we did it earlier, they might not, so.
We could have more casual options for like, because at the cider pressing, there was a hot dog vendor who was making like hot dogs with sauerkraut and onions and stuff, and I got her card, and she is like super willing to do events and stuff. Like if we had like the hot dog vendor and like
Something warm.
yeah, like some warm drink, like
Yeah.
maybe if they had like cocoa or something like that, and then or like popcorn,
Yeah.
like the kettle corn could come out. She also does know the kettle corn lady, so like we could do corn or popcorn, hot dogs, and like some sort of warm beverage.
Hot chocolate.
Hot
Even
chocolate.
if we just got those, like, if we did it ourselves, just got those big, what are those called? Yeah, like, you know, where you put
Yeah.
coffee or hot water in, and just had like a do-it-yourself kind of table,
Yeah,
you know, with cups out and hot chocolate.
we're like, yeah, even like I don't know, they. You know, we have the Grind or like that other coffee shop in town,
Yeah.
maybe they can come out and like do a little pop-up and like make hot chocolate and
Yeah.
do something like that. They don't normally do events, but maybe we can ask them if that's something they'd be willing to do. We could find somebody.
I know Country Coffee has a couple different options for like pop-up. They have like a trailer and cart,
Oh, do they?
like a portable stand.
Oh, that's actually, okay, I can reach out and we can see if they
Which
want
they're
to
local
do it.
too.
Yeah.
Be good.
Huh. That's actually, I didn't know that they did.
Yeah, they have like a large trailer and then they have like a smaller like pop-up trailer, I'm pretty sure.
Got it. Okay, so then we would probably just need to make like a flyer and a registration for that, just so we could see how many people will actually want to come.
yeah.
And then we could figure out
What? is
how
it
many
like?
chairs that we need and like all that type of thing.
And then we should all do a little research and to remind ourselves which movies we might want to see.
Perfect.
Like Elf comes to mind, as in
I
like.
know, I would think Elf, that's a funny family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because even with like Christmas Story, it's like sometimes little kids kind of like stop following it and go
Yeah.
overboard by it. But Elf kind of like nails the whole.
Sure.
It's got
Well, and
like,
even if they
the
don't know
widest
what's going
reach.
on, it's funny, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of funny
Yeah,
parts and.
If for the next one, just come up with your 2 favorite Christmas movies, and then we can see what everyone comes up with and make a list, and then we'll just choose one off the list, and see what happens.
Elf and Die Hard.
Elf and Die Hard, perfect.
Yeah, I think Elf is a good choice. And we decided December 14th.
Okay, yeah, if we're gonna, then if we're gonna do, we'll do it on the 14th, and then
Yeah.
we'll figure out the exact time next time. I'm not too worried about it. And then, like I said, we'll reach out to some vendors and see who would be willing to come out that day. That'd be great. That'd be pretty easy because the projector does all the noise and all that stuff, or do you need to like do separate speakers for it and everything?
Yeah, no, the projector's just the projector. We'd have to play it. Like usually when we do our movie nights, I play it off of a laptop or something. So I actually got it to where I've been playing it off of an iPad, and then I do a fully battery powered rig outdoors, which is super fun. But
Nice.
They have a stereo speakers that we could use
yeah,
in the shop that bring out.
And that room has Wi-Fi if for whatever reason, if you need to like, if we need Wi-Fi for any of it,
Right.
it's all set up too for that.
Yeah, it's funny, one of the reasons why I like to use the iPad over anything else is because I can download stuff.
Sure.
You can't download through the browser, but I can use like Prime Video and then download it and then,
Health has to be on one of those things, right?
yeah, it is
Yeah.
for sure.
And like, just for the setup, like, cause okay, the room, like if you're facing the
Isn't
room.
by like by the amphitheater area?
Yeah, that's the one
Okay.
with the concrete chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, so it has the two front doors, right?
Mhm.
So you couldn't project it on those because and then the other side has windows and the other side's uneven because it has like the sink, the storage. But that other wall that backs up to the amphitheater is just a flat white wall.
Yeah,
And so if we faced it that way, and then
Right.
and it would make the room pretty much as big as it could be, and we could set up the chairs like how the chairs are set up here,
yeah,
and just set them up like that inside. You could probably fit 50 people in that room pretty
Yeah.
easily.
yeah. And the throw on this projector is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah?
I can make it real big.
Okay,
Even from like a short distance away, so.
cool.
I'm also pretty sure that they actually recently installed like a projector and screen in the room. I don't know how operable it is or will be by then, but that might also be available for you guys to use.
Great. Sweet. All right. All right, well, come up with your favorite Christmas movies and we'll figure it out next time. Perfect. Oh yeah. Because it six weeks out is the
It's 60 days from the current day, so you guys have until at least October 15th to decide on the 14th as the official
And
date.
we won't meet before then,
got it.
so we should
Okay,
decide now.
Then
I can just book it off, so
Perfect.
you guys, I
perfect.
mean, yeah.
December
And if
14th.
anything comes up or it sounds like somebody might start thinking about it, I just let you guys know.
Great.
So
Cool. All right. And then now miscellaneous comments stuff.
We were a few months ago, earlier in the year, we were talking about actually getting the splash pad installed.
Yes.
Do we know what steps have been made towards that?
Yes. It was approved. The amount and all that stuff was approved at the last city council meeting. So it's gonna be like 178 grand, but it should be up and running by next
Summer.
summer.
Sweet.
Okay, so a few updates actually. Could you reach out to, I don't know, talk to Dawn and see, because they put up the fence around the dog park area. But I was just curious when they're gonna pull all the old horseshoe stuff out and put down, like, and what they planned on like putting down. Was it, they planned on putting sod or any of that stuff down?
I can ask Don. Yeah, I'll just send him an email.
Great.
That's fine. I mean, you use it for a dog park, you don't wanna,
Yeah, it has it has those little pebbles in there, right? Like, you know, like
Right.
sparse pebbles in there. So they need to put something, whether,
Yeah.
whether they put bar chips or whatever they.
Where?
they-
It's at Wade Creek.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
Where's?
you know where the
Park.
horseshoes are?
Uh-uh.
Oh, yeah, it's
you know where the
exactly.
big mural of the cranes are?
Mm.
Right behind the
It's
skate
behind,
park.
yeah, it's like kind of past the skate park behind the.
Like on this side of, like away from the library?
Okay, so like when you were looking towards the park and there's that open field with like a bunch of blackberry brambles behind it. And it used to be like a fence.
I totally somehow missed that, yeah. We go to that park and I'm like, I can't picture where it is.
If you, okay, so where the Mobius is, the big circle,
Uh-huh,
right behind it,
okay.
right behind the volleyball court.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
They just put up a new fence. I don't know if they put up a brand new like 8-foot tall fence around the entire perimeter of the park. They completely fixed the fence.
Okay.
And then they made the fence that was around the horseshoe pit probably about 8 feet tall. And it looks pretty good. It's just they need to, I'm just curious what the plan is for like actually like pulling all that old stuff. Cause they have like those metal rods sticking out of the ground and stuff like that. It's probably not great for the dogs running around.
yeah, it's been a horseshoe pit that has basically acted as a de facto dog park.
Okay.
Right.
But now we're just going to make it a real one.
Okay.
Now you don't have to feel bad about going in there with your dog.
And then probably they're gonna put like a commemorative sign up for
Right.
it and stuff like that. So yeah, if you have whatever whatever he has for that would be great.
I think that they had emailed me like the blueprints and everything, so I'll just reach out and ask if there's any other information.
Perfect. And if you have if you want to send those out to the group, that would be great too.
Yeah.
Is that 170 you mentioned? That's everything like the
Everything.
dog-
That was
okay,
like that's like
okay.
the cost of actually like doing the work to install it and all that stuff. Cause we paid the
Right.
17 grand for the parts like last
Yeah.
year. So we had all the parts. They just need to, it's about 100, is it 178 or something like right around there for them to actually install it.
Right.
So
I mean, for just that, or does that include the dog park and all the revisions? Like,
no, that's just that's just strictly for the splash
Splash
pad.
pad, okay.
Yeah. So, but it should be up and running
yeah,
because like they approved it. So now all they have to do is the work. So it should be done pretty fast. Even they were saying it should be even by like, I don't know, in a few months, like at some point early next year, it'll be,
Right.
all in and the kids can like ride their scooters or do whatever on
Yeah.
it. So
2 weeks.
you said it, not me.
Said
We'll be ready for that hot day in the middle of October.
Yeah.
What
Every time, just 2 weeks.
was it?
I'll keep saying that for next year.
People forget. I can just keep goalposting them. But there was there was that. What else did they do? Oh, I emailed Dawn about fixing this sprinkler, and one of the locks got busted on one of the bathrooms in Wade Creek. So
Right.
he fixed that.
Oh,
That's all
that's right, yeah.
good. All the signs, I put up all the signs in all the parks, and those are all still there.
Yeah.
Survey
Are we
wise,
getting more surveys now?
we have about 70 online. I got 30 today. So we're up to 100 there, and then I probably got about 50 or 60 around from the concerts. So we're actually probably sitting around about 160
People?
people. And then I told city council, I told them because we put it back out the other day. I told them I was like, A, fill it out. B, share it into like if you see it online and you know of any of like the local groups or like if you know any like groups on like Facebook or any of that stuff, just grab the link, shove it into the thing and be like, hey, I'm on the parks. Could you guys take time and fill this out? And we might get more hits that way.
I'm part of the Moms of Estacada group. So
Perfect.
I'll
If
post
if
it in there.
you want to go online, post in there, that would be great.
Yeah.
Honestly, especially for like if parents would fill it out, that way we can like see like what stuff they want for their
Who's
kids.
actually using it in the playgrounds and stuff.
Perfect. That would be amazing.
Okay, I'll do that.
And then the only other question I had for Dawn too was just out of curiosity for like the wetland in Wade Creek, like what is the actual I'm curious like what kind of like actual maintenance plan do they have for that area and like what time like frames do they work on it, like pull stuff out if they need to or do any of that stuff?
Also the pathway, getting that compacted or whatever they're gonna do. Did they do that or?
I have not heard anything from council about doing that yet. I will follow up with Melanie and see if we're gonna figure out and try to make those paths a bit more friendlier for older people. So that would be good too.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think there's other very much else going on in the parks, at least for the city stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is related or our area, but so I live in the new development up on the hill. And there are like multiple builders and there's no plan for like a park
Mm-hmm.
or playground or anything. I don't know the background of all that, if this has already been discussed, but I know there's a lot of like area where they could put something in. What's the process of that?
Okay.
Is it builder specific? Like if they don't, sorry, if this has already been discussed.
Oh,
I
no,
just
no.
don't- I don't know anything about it. I'm like, it seems a little ridiculous. We have hundreds and hundreds of homes with
is.
no parks. It is.
No, it's funny.
I mean, they have walking trails, but like in our development, they, have these walking trails, but like you can't access them with strollers because they're all using stairs. And so like wheelchairs or strollers, they're very limited on who can access these like
yeah.
nature trails. And so I was just curious, like, how do I advocate or what's the process? Like, we need something.
That's a great question.
Okay.
I have an answer for you.
Okay.
So at the last city council meeting, right before you got on parks, we were talking about both that issue and the SDC's issue with the city. So with that issue, there are right now 14 developments.
Mhm.
Before Monday, and not until January of 25 will this go into like action. But they were not, no developer was required to set aside any part of their land for parks at all,
Which is crazy.
which is crazy. And they only ever did it if like they voluntarily did it.
Okay.
There was nothing ever in the code saying.
Because like Sandy has a code that you have to put a park in for a certain amount of
Right.
homes.
And we were the only city in Clackamas County, one of the only cities in Clackamas
That
County.
does
I
not
won't say the
do that.
only, but one of the only cities that did not have that at all in our code.
Okay,
So we did a joint workshop with city council, parks and planning. And they did rewrite the code and they did vote on it on Monday. I have issues with a portion of it, but essentially what it says now is if the development is over the size where it would require the percentage of the amount of land being set aside being over a quarter of an acre, then they are required to either set that side, to put a chunk of land based on the percentage, based on the calculation, aside for parks.
Hmm.
So they are required to do it now if that park,
does
If-
does it backtrack though? Like all these
No.
developments that have already started?
it does not. It only applies to developers who who will do their developments after the law is enabled, which should be January of 25, if I
But-
am correct about this.
So like for example, our builder who I'm a part of is already started. They've already done 2 phases,
It
but they
doesn't
have
apply.
7 phases to go. Like, so it doesn't apply to them
If all of
because they've
those
already
were-
started.
Have been approved before the time, then yes, they will not be required.
So in those
but-
like 500 plus homes, there's not going to be any parks.
Probably not. I wouldn't hold my breath.
Okay. Who
My-
do I fight that on?
There is a meeting somewhere that you can find
Yeah,
online where they basically the developers are not like
they don't care.
they don't
Yeah.
care. They basically expressed how much they really
Yeah.
don't care. They're like, we're doing the
Well, they're selling homes without it, so.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and if they can maximize the amount of profits they can get by putting.
And if they
maximizing
have
the amount of
nature trails, it
houses on
counts
the
as-
land, that's what they're gonna do, because they're a
Yeah.
business, they want profit, right?
Okay.
My only issue with it is now with that, they also put a clause in there that said they will get credits against the SDCs in proportion of the value of the land that they're giving us for the parks. So let's say their SDCs cost, like for the development is like whatever, $500,000. If they give us if the calculation of the portion of land given to the city it like exceeds like their SDC amount, they essentially then don't have to pay park SDCs. Which to me, and I expressed my opinion about this at the city council meeting, so they know my opinion, they should have to do both.
Yeah.
They should have to set aside land and they should have to pay for the SDCs so we can actually have some money
To manage the land,
to build the park.
to maintain the land. Yeah.
So like the areas that they could potentially, like there's a couple areas in our development that could potentially have a park. Like we can't do anything about that.
Not unless the developer decides that out of the goodness of their heart, they want to put a park on that
So no.
land. So, but like, again, I wouldn't hold my breath.
But they don't have hearts.
But if one of your developer, if you know the developer who's doing the second and third and fourth phases of that, they do have to come to city council and tell their plan.
Mhm.
If you let us know beforehand that they are doing the phase and they don't have a park, we could go and be like, hey, you guys should put a park in there.
Mhm.
And we could like advocate that way.
Yeah, because like our builder, I don't know anything about, there are 3 main builders in our area, and our builder, they have done 2 phases. I think they're getting ready for
Cascadia
space.
Ridge?
No, Faraday Hills
Oh, okay.
through Holt Homes.
Ah,
But they have 3 phases, or they're starting phase 3, but there are like 7 mapped out
Mhm.
phases. But I don't know what if those, like, I'm assuming all those phases have already been pre-approved. I don't know how that process works, but.
Right.
Okay,
Watch the city council, go on YouTube,
Yeah.
watch the meeting from Monday, at least watch the part where Alan was talking about it, because he's the city planner and he was the one who like wrote a lot of it.
okay,
You'll see me talking about how I don't think it's fair that they don't have they get the credits for SDCs, but you should watch it. It actually explains a lot of it.
okay, thank
and-
you, yeah.
And it makes it make more sense, probably better than how I butchered the explanation, but.
Okay. Sorry, I don't have a lot of knowledge on it. I was
No,
just
no,
like,
it's-
I
it-
think it seems ridiculous to me that, you know, they can put 500 homes and not have
Oh,
any
yeah.
type of park.
No, we have been saying that for a long time, and they finally acted on it. I don't personally agree with how they did it, but well, just the one clause, I don't agree with that, but the rest of it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
those are good parks.
but it was funny because they literally voted on it on Monday, and I was like,
Okay.
as soon as you brought it up, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was just funny.
Yeah, I'll have to, was there any distinction between like just setting aside land and then the city builds the park, or was there anything codified about them building the parks?
Yep.
So it's really just setting aside land for the
It's
city.
it's
to
setting
de-
aside
to de-
raw land.
And then the city does the development and maintenance.
Yep.
So that, yeah,
how can we advocate?
so they should be paying the SDC. I was like, no, I was like, I get it because I know a lot of times cities will have a thing where it's like, you have the option to develop a park that you then maintain.
Mhm.
And then you don't have to pay the and then you get an SDC credit because you built the park and you're maintaining it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really make sense to be like, we won't build something here, have fun,
I would agree with that.
yeah.
Can the Parks and Rec and City Hall, like, can we decide if there is space to put in a park, or it has to be with the developer? Like, I don't know, like, if it's not in the development's plan, like, we can't go and say, we have this amount of money that we can put in a park, or like, how does that work? It has to be a part of the developer's plan?
Pre this going into law.
Yeah,
It's sole
Strictly
discretion
developer.
of,
Okay.
they designed, they bought the land from whatever person whose farm it used to be.
yeah,
And they have to do the development only to
what they
the
sell.
code
Okay.
that the county / what is already written in the city law
Got it,
at
okay,
that point in time.
okay,
So like, even, just so you know, so like, if there's a development, like current estates,
mm-hmm,
there was there were some issues with like how the roads were set up and something like that, right? And the
mm-hmm,
planning people had an issue with it, right? And they made their issue known to city council. But at that point, let's say all of city council votes no on the development going in,
mm-hmm,
then the developer would go to the county and be like, they said no for a reason that's not legal or whatever they say.
Okay.
And they defend their plans to the county.
they can
And if the
override it.
county says no, that it follows the law, this is legal, they can build it.
Okay,
Then at that point, they would just override city council and be like, oh, just build it anyway.
Mm.
Is essentially what would happen. So again, so like, if it's a thing that's already approved and done and all that stuff,
can't go back and
then
change.
they short of you getting enough people pissed off to
Yeah.
come to city council and like tell the developers like, hey, we want a park,
Yeah,
they're likely not going to set aside. I mean,
Okay.
why would they?
yeah, exactly.
Right.
They don't get anything out of it.
I think out of like the whatever 13, 14 development they have planned already, I think one of them was like, oh, we'll put a park in the development out of like however many developments we've had
Yeah.
done in the city. So it like I said, so if you know of like stuff coming up like in the city council and you just want to like shoot out like, hey, like they're building that and just let us know, then we, you can have your 3 minutes to be like, hey, they should put a park in there or something
Yeah.
like that.
If there's
Thank you.
something, as much as I don't like the idea of them not paying SDC
Mhm.
to treat land, could that be something that could apply, like, if a developer already has phases planned that they haven't started working on yet,
Mhm.
is that something, and it's their grandfathered in, so they don't have to like do that? Is that something that they could be offered? To be like, it's like, we really, if it's like, you're putting all these homes in here, we want to have a park in there, even in.
That I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's something, but it's something to think about in the future of like, if you get enough people voicing that like, we need a park in here, there's just, it's too dense without, and too much space without a park in it. We really need it for our neighborhood. Like, is there some sort of mechanism or something that we could do to be like, this policy that we have now where you get a STC credit for putting a park in? Can we offer that to you so that you'll put this park in?
Mhm.
That's a good question, and I will ask, I have a meeting with Alan tomorrow at 4:30 to the city planner. I will ask him that.
Yeah.
And then I will let you
Application
know.
Or an appeal process. to say,
Yeah.
Hey, I wanna,
As
get on
as
that.
dirty as it feels, it's good. It's like the end result is better for the community,
Yeah.
it's better for these neighborhoods. Like, we want kids to be growing up in places where they can play and not.
Yeah, I mean,
stuck
like
in
just
school.
my street, there are probably like 2 homes that don't have kids. The rest are all kids and
Yeah.
families, like,
Right.
and all like young kids that are wanting something.
Even when we were talking about this during the meetings and stuff, that's what I was like. Because one of our counselors, he lives in Cascadia Ridge.
Yeah.
It has a small park. Like, it has this park that maybe took out 2 houses lots.
Not
But-
even.
Not even.
Yeah.
But we put like a dragonfly jungle gym
Yeah.
and like different stuff in there, and there are always kids playing at that.
Oh, the one on
Yeah.
Gardner.
Yeah, in Gardner. Yeah,
Yeah, we
Gardner.
go to it almost every day.
People go there
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like, those parks play an integral role in
Mhm.
building community and like getting neighbors out together and stuff
Yeah.
like
Get
that.
a lot of people there, like.
Yeah,
and
right,
connected with a lot of
Exactly. No,
families.
that's important. It's like, and kids need to be able to like walk out of their homes and like go.
Like not have to drive somewhere or.
Yeah, and be able to like safely go somewhere to play and play with the other kids that are,
Yeah.
and so it's worth doing something like coming back and being like, please put a park in. We'll pay some slack on SDCs.
Right.
well, and like.
Specifically my development, ask about
Well,
that.
and I think you were specifically asking about like, hey, this development is in or it's planned, and
Yeah.
then there's this gap here. There
Yeah,
could be
there's,
something like that
there's
could be
quite a
something
few
where,
gaps that are,
hey, you can
the land's there.
potentially appeal to get in this SDC, and it doesn't have to be replanted because that gap is already there. You're not
Even if
doing
it's like a
anything.
small little park, like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be something extravagant, but like you were saying, something where kids can go and meet that's safe.
Right.
It's not in the street, not,
Right. And I will double check about the whole phases thing. Like I said, if they.
Yeah,
submit a-
because they still have like 5 or 6 phases to go.
I'll double check because
And that's just our builder. And I know there are 2 more additional builders in our area.
I think the way it works is like the development is planned as like a whole thing, and then it's approved as a whole thing, and then they
Okay.
just build
Not
in
by
phases.
phase.
If I understand that
Okay.
correctly, I will double check
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
But yeah.
Sorry to.
Oh no,
go
no,
down
all
that-
good.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's
I
good
just-
to
That's like
discuss
you
this.
got me on my soapbox. I was on it the other day anyway, so it's all good.
I just think it's crazy that there are so many homes and not a place to play.
Oh yeah. And you know what?
Or nature trails that are actually accessible to families.
And most of the people who return these surveys say they want more parks.
Yeah.
So at least one, because that's what we'll do next phase of like after like this whole codification, we have more talks with
Mhm.
city council. And it like the other one is about the SDCs that get paid and updating the parks master plan.
Okay.
So if we can really get more of these surveys done
Mhm.
and we can show that there's a need and a want within the community for parks, we can not force them, but we can show council like, hey, this is what
it.
people want.
Okay.
This is.
I
how they
will
want
go
the
door
community
knocking to
stay.
every single neighbor I have, say, fill out the survey and say specifically.
As I say,
the
put it
park.
all in your, in your mom group,
Yeah.
Yeah.
any of that
No,
stuff. That'd be
seriously,
great.
like that's what needs to get done. like,
Yeah.
Put the survey, the QR code
Yeah,
on the
I just
developer
did it.
map thing.
Yes.
Perfect.
Over it.
They do have a large with all the phases in
Yeah.
front of their office. I'll just.
Put it right there. Perfect. I love it.
I am not afraid to do that.
Cool. Anything else?
No, thank you for the information.
All good. Perfect. All right. We can adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Are we gonna go look at